Hello again, fellow modelers. We are going to be painting this Stearman today. We're going to start off by setting up a cutting station for our tape. So we're going to use this plastic baggie. It's just a waste product that you can just take care of and throw away, whatever, who cares. It's from the dollar store, doesn't cost much. I just tape it down, like it nice and flat, and it's just a nice clean surface to keep it sticky on the tape side. You could also use the back of a water slide decal sheet, but I just find this to be easier and more disposable because there's two sides of the plastic baggie, and it's just easier for me. And it works well. Now, whenever you're cutting tape, you always want to use a nice fresh blade. Because you're going to be using the tip most of all when you're cutting the tape. So just make sure to use a nice fresh blade, and using these regular classic, X-Acto knife, it's literally designed for cutting like odd curves and stuff like that. You literally roll it in your hands while you're cutting it, and it creates the curve of what you want. So the more you roll it, the more curve you get. So it's literally designed for making these curved type of cuts. Now this design I created myself. I did not really go off of anything. I kind of just cut the tape and went along with it as I went. I wanted my own custom design for the Stearman to show you guys basically the method behind taping and airbrushing your airplane. Obviously, you always want to be really careful when cutting around any type of finished painted surface, but mainly if you are taping the area, if you cut into the paint a little bit, you can always fix anything. So it's not a disaster moment, it's just a pain in the butt moment. But with the tape, I am not prepping the tape at all. A lot of times you'll see people maybe stick it to their pants and then stick it to the model, or stick it to their hand or whatever, but I don't want any type of oils on this model. I know that I gloss coated everything, so if I pull the tape and then the paint will not come off. If there's any paint coming off, it's the gloss coat. You can't even tell anyways. And honestly, if you did end up pulling some of the gloss coat off, it would actually make a kind of cool matte flat type of surface area that kind of almost looks good because it kind of weathered it just a little bit. So I like to just gloss coat before I tape anything, and then I know that my paint's secure and safe. And honestly, I haven't really figured out a good system to do this with. Obviously, it's a lot easier to put on tape without gloves, but with gloves on, I just like it better because I don't really want any of the oils from my hands onto the model, honestly. I went ahead and washed all these sprues, so why would I go ahead and put oils onto my finished painted model? It doesn't make sense to me. So here you just want to make sure that all the tape is pressed down perfectly to the airplane. It's crucial that you do this, or else if the paint is too thin, it will get into all the cracks where the tape was not pressed down enough. Now with this Tamiya tape, you really don't have to worry about much. It sticks really good to any type of paint, and honestly any type of nice freshly cleaned and prepped surface, but you definitely do want to make sure that you're pressing those edges down good on your surface that you're taping off. Now this tape is a 3mm, and you are able to actually bend this tape a little bit like I did there. That's about as far as you can really stretch that tape before it rips. I've done some spirals on some noses and stuff before, and it doesn't work as well on that because you're just bending it way too much. But this tape, you are able to bend it if needs so. It's a pretty simple design, but I really liked it. And this is a model showing for my RC model that I'm starting to build as well. I wanted to make a little contrast, so I decided to go with gunmetal. and it will be a cool, nice metallic surface. And I honestly wanted to just try to airbrush this stuff. I've had some rough goes at airbrushing metallic paints as of my modeling career, so this was my real first attempt at using some nice new airbrush paint, and it went so well. I was utterly surprised because it just went so well. So I'm using Posh's Raptor. It's a sweet airbrush. It allows you to go down to basically minimally a pinpoint needle, and it really does do an excellent job of laying down a nice even surface. But before I go too far into this, I want to let you know that I did thin out this paint. I usually do about 50-50. It just makes it easier for you guys to understand. 50-50 is a great way to go about thinning out your paints. Now obviously sometimes it can be too much if you're using an unfamiliar paint, but with most, if in fact all Vallejo paints that I have and I use, 50-50 is the way to go. With having this paint 50-50 mixed, it dries pretty much almost instantly. I mean, honestly, if you just spray a little bit of just your regular air, then it will pretty much be dry by the time you're done spraying it with the air. So you can just do nice, light, even coats with your airbrush and just keep going along that surface until it's completely covered. Now, I did make a mistake here. With any metallic paints and really high contrasting colors, you definitely want to cover up all the areas that aren't getting paint better than I did here. Most of it is covered, but not all of it. So make sure to cover up all the areas so you don't get any overspray on the areas that you don't want. And now for the most satisfying part of taking off your tape. Now, a lot of people have different views on this. I am a professional painter. I do it for a living. I literally pull tape for a living. I would know probably better than anybody else on the planet whether this is a good idea or a bad idea. One thing is always pull your tape at a 45-degree angle. If it is curved at all, like around a surface or anything, you want to uncurve the surface if it's not going to pull at a 45-degree angle. The reason why is because it can get stuck to the surfaces underneath the tape, and it will actually peel all of your tape up if you don't pull at a 45-degree angle. And what I mean is, you literally take it and you peel it back just like I'm doing there, and you pull just like that, and that's your 45-degree angle towards, like, back at you. I know it's a little bit confusing. I didn't really demonstrate it that well, but it's really important to remember that, because you can, if you pull at less than a 45-degree angle, then it will peel up on you. So as you can see, this tape just sticks so perfectly to the model and so well, and if you do the gloss coat, then it will not peel up on you. And thank you guys so much for watching this quick tutorial on how to tape and airbrush your model. This is just so fun for me to do for you guys. Make sure to check out my Facebook group and stuff, and that will be in the link in the description. And also, like, let's get back to building. Like, let's have a good time. And that wing just looks so crisp. I just love the way that came out. It's really awesome. So good luck with all your ventures, and I'll see you later. Let's get back to building, guys.